Hi, Tom here. Quick question. When you close your eyes and try to visualize something, what do you actually see? For some people, it's crystal clear, like watching a movie in their head. For others, it's just darkness, static. Or maybe you can kind of sense something, but you can't really see it. If that sounds like you, don't worry, because visualization isn't just some mystical power you either have or you don't have. It's a skill. And today, I'm going to show you step by step how to actually visualize anything, whether it's a person, a place, or even something completely imaginary. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to create vivid mental images on command. And trust me, it's easier than you think. Let's dive in. If you've ever struggled to visualize, you might be trying too hard to create something out of thin air. That's where the memory bridge technique comes in. Instead of inventing an image from scratch, you start with something you already know, like a memory. Close your eyes and think of a familiar place. Your bedroom, a favorite restaurant, your childhood home. Now, focus on one object in that space. Maybe your bed, a chair, or a table. Now ask yourself, what color is it? What texture does it have? Is there anything sitting on top of it? Now, once this image is clear, start modifying it. Change the color, make it float, or maybe make it shrink. This method works because you're not forcing your brain to create something brand new. You're just looking around in a memory and making small changes. A lot of people think they need to see everything in perfect detail from the start. But here's the secret. You don't have to start with a full picture. You just need a shape. So close your eyes and imagine a simple shape, like a circle, a triangle, or possibly a square. Now, once you see it, add a little more. Turn the circle into a ball, or the triangle into a pyramid. Slowly build details, texture, color, movement. If the image fades, just bring back the shape and rebuild it from there. It's like sketching. Start with the outline and then fill in the details. Simple but super effective. Here's where we'll start creating more complex images. Instead of seeing a full picture at once, you build it layer by layer, like stacking Legos in your mind. So start with a basic outline. A stick figure if you're picturing a person, a cube if you're picturing an object. Now add one detail at a time. Maybe that's clothing, color, shadows, backgrounds, whatever. Keep asking yourself questions like, what's the texture like? Is it smooth or rough? Where is the light coming from? Let the image evolve step by step, instead of trying to force it all at once. Your brain doesn't need to generate a perfect high-definition imagery instantly, guys. Just stack the details slowly, and it'll become clear over time. If static images are hard for you, this technique might be a game changer. Instead of taking a picture in your mind, you treat it like a movie playing on a screen. So close your eyes and imagine a blank movie screen in front of you. Picture a scene unfolding, maybe a door slowly opening. Instead of worrying about stillness, let the image move naturally. If it's blurry or faint, focus on one aspect at a time. The movement of the door or the shadow, maybe the sounds. Motion helps your brain stay engaged, guys. Before you know it, your mind's eye will start filling in the details on its own. These techniques are all about making visualization simple. You don't need to see things in perfect 4K quality. Just build the image step by step, and it will get easier every time you practice. Try one of these methods right now. Pause the video and test it, and tell me in the comments which one worked best for you. Alright, now that you've got the basics down, let's take it up a notch. A clear image is great, but if you really want to make your visualizations feel real, you need to bring in senses and motion. This is what separates a weak mental image from a powerful immersive one. Most people only focus on seeing an image, but the more senses you add, the more real it becomes. So start with a basic visualization, like say you're picturing a lemon. Now add other senses. Well, maybe touch. Imagine holding it. Feel the rough, bumpy texture of the peel. Smell, maybe picture it slicing open. Smell the strong, citrusy scent. Imagine biting into it. Your mouth should physically react to the sourness. You could also hear the squish of the juice dripping onto the plate. The more senses you layer on, the stronger and more realistic the image becomes. Try this now. Close your eyes and imagine peeling an orange. Can you smell it? Feel the juice on your fingers. The more details you engage, the more powerful your visualization gets. A lot of people struggle with visualization because they try and freeze the image in place. But in real life, nothing is completely still. Even a statue has light shifting around its surface, or a slight breeze moving around it. So instead of picturing something motionless, add a subtle movement to make it more dynamic. So instead of imagining a still candle, picture the flame flickering. Maybe instead of a motionless tree, see the leaves swaying in the wind. Instead of a floating apple, imagine it spinning slowly in midair. Use slow, natural motion to breathe life into the images. Your brain responds better to images that move, even a slight shift in lighting, or a shadow passing over something that makes it feel more real. Ever notice how some small memories stick with you because of how they made you feel? We can use that same trick to supercharge your visualization. So, picture a place or object that means something to you. Maybe your childhood home or a pet. Tap into that emotion behind it. Does it make you feel calm, happy, nostalgic? Maybe it brings up a specific memory. Maybe a Christmas morning or a summer day. Let the feeling infuse your visualization. If you're picturing a futuristic city, imagine the awe and excitement of seeing it for the first time. When the image has an emotion attached to it, it sticks in your mind and becomes easier to recall later. Most people visualize from a flat perspective, like looking at a picture. But to make it more immersive, try shifting perspectives. Imagine looking through your own eyes like in real life. Or picture yourself from the outside, like watching a movie. Maybe a dynamic movement. Walk around the scene in your mind. Change angles, zoom in and out. For example, if you're visualizing a beach, don't just see it. Walk along the shore. Feel the sand under your feet. Watch the waves roll in from different angles. The more movement and perspective shifts you add, the more real it begins to feel. Visualization isn't just about seeing. It's about experiencing. By adding senses, motion, emotions, and perspective, your mind stops just thinking about an image and starts feeling like it's actually there. Try this right now. Pause the video, pick one of the techniques to test. Comment below which one works best for you. Alright, so by now, you've got a solid toolkit for visualization, but maybe you're still running into problems. Maybe your images fade too fast, feel too vague, or just won't show up at all. If that's happening, do not stress. This section is all about fixing the most common visualization problems and making sure your mental images actually stick. This is the most common struggle people have. You close your eyes expecting to see something, and nothing happens. Just darkness. If that's you, do not worry. You're actually closer than you think. So instead of trying to see a clear image, focus on other senses first. What does the object feel like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Imagine a warm cup of coffee. Don't stress about seeing it. Just feel the heat in your hands, smell the aroma, and hear the slight bubbling of liquid. Now, once you've got the sense of it, the image will start forming naturally. So most people visualize more like a feeling or concept rather than a perfect photo. And that's totally fine. As long as you can sense what you're imagining, you're doing it right. You're finally picturing something and then poof, it's gone. If your visualizations disappear fast, here's how to make them stick. So don't just look at the image, guys. Interact with it. If you're picturing a red apple, maybe try turning it around in your hand. Taking a bite. How does it feel and how does it taste? Changing its color to green. The more you engage with the image, the harder it is for your brain to let it go. Think of visualization like holding a dream. If you don't interact with it, it fades. But if you keep touching, changing, and playing with it, it becomes more solid. If your visualizations are fuzzy or lack detail, you're probably trying to do too much at once. Here's how to sharpen that picture. Instead of trying to see an entire landscape, maybe zoom in on one part, like a single leaf, a brick wall, maybe a cup on a table. Then ask yourself these questions. What color is it? What texture does it have? Is there light reflecting off it? Once you've locked into one strong detail, expand outward and gradually. It's like adjusting a camera. Start small, sharpen the focus, and then build the full picture. You're visualizing something, and then suddenly, you're thinking of what's for dinner or that dumb thing you said 5 years ago. Does that sound familiar? Here's a good way to fix it. Pick one object to always come back to. Maybe a glowing orb, a stone, or a floating cube. Whenever your mind wanders, return to that object and refocus. Over time, this builds stronger concentration and makes distractions way less frequent. Think of it like a meditation anchor. Whenever you drift off, come back to the image. It keeps your focus locked in. If your mental images feel flat, like a 2D picture instead of a living scene, the problem is lack of depth. Let's fix that. So instead of seeing a flat image, picture shadows, highlights. Where is the light coming from? Add depth. Is the object in front of you or is it far away? And then possibly add some motion. If it's a door, let it creak open slowly. If it's a street, imagine people walking past and hearing traffic. Real life isn't static, so neither should your visualizations be. Even tiny moments, like a light breeze, flickering of a candlelight, or shifting shadows, make a huge difference. Every single person visualizes differently. Some people see things in their mind's eye, while others sense, feel, or just know what they're imagining. The key is finding what works best for you. Try out these fixes, and let me know in the comments. What's the biggest struggle you've had with visualization? And did this help? Alright, You've learned the techniques, you've fixed the common problems, and now it's time to put it all together. This is your final guided visualization. So get comfortable, relax, and let's step into your mind's eye. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Let everything fade away, no distractions, just you in this moment. Now imagine standing in a peaceful forest. You're surrounded by tall trees, their leaves swaying gently in the breeze. Sunlight filters through the branches, casting golden patterns on the ground. Reach out and touch the bark of the tree beside you. Feel the rough texture beneath your fingers. Now, listen. Birds chirping in the distance, a soft rustling of leaves, maybe even the distant sound of a small river flowing. As you walk forward, you notice a small wooden bridge over a clear stream. You step onto it, hearing the soft creak of the wood beneath your feet. Below, the water is moving, glistening as it catches the sunlight. What does it look like? Is it still? Maybe it's rippling, crystal clear, or deep and dark. Now, bring your senses. Breathe in the fresh, earthy scent of the forest. Feel the cool air against your skin. Let this place become real in your mind. Take a few moments to explore it. Look around. Move. Notice the small details. If your image starts to fade, don't panic. Just focus on one thing and let it sharpen again. Now, as you slowly step away from the bridge, you feel a sense of calm, like you've just unlocked a new ability. Because you have. You've just successfully visualized an entire scene, and the more you practice, the clearer and stronger it will get. And there you have it. If you made it this far, congratulations. You're already improving your visualization skills. The key is consistency. The more you practice, the easier it gets, and the more real and vivid your mind's eye becomes. Guys, let me know in the comments, what did you see during that exercise? What senses stood out the most? And if you want more guided visualizations like this, let me know. If you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe, so you don't miss out on more videos like this. And most importantly, keep practicing. Your imagination is a muscle. Strengthen it and unlock worlds you've never thought possible. That's all for today. Take care and stay calm.